Just be able to do stuff.
The whole show, I'm gonna have my coffees parked right on my kneecap like that.
I think that's a good idea.
Is it empty?
No, it's half full.
Half empty?
Are we gonna get a commercial? Yeah. Good thing we did that.
Say I'm the greatest, I'm the glory. Well, the word is out and I learned. Like the lady side of the story, you're pulling out before you get burned. Hands are squeezing me down to the bone. I never saw you breaking no law. That's the reason I got to leave you alone. What you took me from is just setting me up, put me down. You're just making me out to be your clown.
And it's Thursday. We have arrived.
Arrived.
You have squares on your head.
Squares?
Yeah. You look like you have a targeting system on your head.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with the camera then?
I don't know. It always does these things. Everybody likes this fancy camera, and it does these things.
So this is we're just making it look like this because it's more Glenn Beck-ish.
Yeah, you're seeing behind the scenes stuff.
Behind the scenes footage.
Right. Yeah, this is really what we need to do.
This is what's
And there's something right next to you.
There is? Like a spiritual being or?
Probably. It's picking up on another square.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I did.
Just go like this.
This side or this side?
That side.
Okay.
Right there.
You think it's because of the light?
Maybe.
All right, it is Thursday. We are back. Marshall came for a couple weeks. We had some discussions about Jewish thoughts on their descent, where they came from, whether or not modern-day Jews might be a part of Canaanites. That's all kind of done away with. Marshall's been tied up, so we're going to kind of move on and go into some other areas. So tonight we're thinking about having some good discussion about what's going on in L.A. and the protests that are going to be happening this Saturday, and talk a little bit about what that means for our faith. And then we also are going to talk about the Southern Baptist Convention and some things that have happened recently in their...
Is Beth Moore getting all crazy again?
Well, Beth Moore isn't a part of them anymore, and this is the reason why, because they just had a recent vote at their district assembly for the year, and I guess their amendment to try and force that women cannot be a part of leadership in the local church,
Amen.
It failed.
Oh.
By 60%, it appears, according to the thing that I have. So we're going to get into that tonight. We'll talk about that, and then we'll see.
So all the men in the Baptist convention couldn't get that done.
They couldn't. SBC motion to ban female pastors fails with over 60% support. So we'll get into that in just a minute, too. But if you are here tonight and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our channel. Notice that subscribers are on the uptick, so that's a good thing. So make sure you subscribe. Also, if you like what's going on, hit the like button. Make sure you share these videos on all kinds of platforms because that helps us out. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So, gentlemen, I mean, obviously there's a biased representation here because all three of us are men. We don't have any women sitting here to represent their side.
Well, I'm wondering what it is when you can't be a good chauvinist anymore.
Okay, well, I'm with you. I hear you.
Yeah, like, come on.
But we're going to just talk about this. So we are a part of a denomination, the Church of the Nazarene, that does ordain females as pastors. However, the guys in this room know that my personal conviction, scriptural conviction, is that the scriptures are pretty clear that the church is to be organized as the family. In the family, the man is the head of the household.
Amen.
He is to be the spiritual leader, and Paul seems to make it clear throughout Scripture that is also the way the church is to be led.
And the women make the sandwiches.
However, yeah, yeah. So they do the potlucks? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they can do potlucks.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, the SBC, the Southern Baptist Convention, has for forever, I guess, since the Southern Baptist Convention has been around, they've been very strong, one of probably the strongest denominations on the fact that women's role is not in leadership. And they have a few verses in the scriptures to, point that out and to use in that. Some of those scriptures are a little difficult. We could talk about that tonight if we get into it. But what happened in their convention this past week, they failed to pass a motion to prohibit member churches from employing women in any pastoral role, a similar measure to the law amendment that was narrowly defeated last year. So it appears that churches now...
How do they define what's a pastoral role?
So it could be just a youth pastor or a children's pastor, which usually the SBC hasn't had a problem with children's pastors because you're overseeing children, not adult men. But they could now be a pastor of discipleship. They could even possibly be like an associate pastor to the pastor at the church.
So if our denomination didn't have the women thing, like April technically wouldn't be allowed to do that?
No, she would. Even in churches like the Southern Baptist Convention, the idea is that Paul's writings, where he says that a woman should not have authority over a man, and they should not be teaching in the teaching role. They will use that then to say that it would be totally fine for a woman to be teaching children, but just not over a man. So, in our denomination, though, the Church of the Nazarene ordains female pastors, so a woman can be a pastor in the Nazarene Church over the entire congregation. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? I can pull up some scripture text just to kind of get a context, but the Southern Baptist Convention is losing what has really been a foundational doctrinal view of theirs for forever, and that is that women are not to be in the role of preacher, teacher, pastor. What are your thoughts on that? Are they going soft? I mean, obviously they can't do anything about it if it's, by majority vote or 2/3 vote, but what do you think is going to happen? You think there's going to be a split over this, or what's going on?
Technically, it's already been voted on in Scripture.
Well,
right?
Well, so let me just take you here. I'll give you a couple scriptures, okay? So, for instance, in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 11 through 12, let a woman learn quietly with all submissiveness. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. Rather, she is to remain quiet. Now, what's interesting about this text is that there are other places in the scriptures where it talks about women, if they're going to pray, they need to have their head covered. So you have to take some of these passages and you really have to work through them and see whether or not Paul is saying that women are not allowed to teach, or are they just not allowed to exert authority in their teaching roles over a man. So there are some arguments about that. It's not just as clear cut, I think, as most people think when it comes to women. Obviously, men and women have roles. The scriptures are pretty clear that we all have gifts and talents. But if you look at 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 13 through 14, this is why Paul says this. For Adam was formed first, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman was deceived and became a transgressor. So then the argument is that
Adam should have been protecting his wife.
Well, okay, so this is a great argument. Why would you? So if you don't want a woman in a pastoral role because she can be deceived, why do you want a guy in that role who's not going to protect people, or a guy in that role who's going to willingly not be deceived, but he's going to willingly transgress and sin against God? So that's a big argument with that passage too. So you can see how these passages can have arguments on either side. And I'll just keep playing it out here. But let me go to I think it's Galatians here, if I can find it real quick. Here, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Let me see if that's the verse. But every wife who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head, since it is the same as if her head was shaven. So obviously they had women who were praying and who were prophesying in the early church, but they had to do it with their head covered. And if they didn't, it was if their head was shaved. So obviously there are women doing these things. So now you have to use all these different verses to try and figure out what is Paul really saying in 1 Timothy chapter 2. And I personally, I still take issue because I still think Paul says the best way for the church to run is that the men are to be the head, just like in the family. They are to be pastoral roles, and the women are to be in supporting roles of that. However, I think these texts are a little bit. I think it's easy for people like the Southern Baptist Convention to take 1 Timothy chapter 2 and take it out of context and just proof text that one verse or those couple verses and try to make an argument that women can never teach, preach, any of that kind of stuff. Because I think there's probably a time and a place for everything under heaven, Ecclesiastes says.
Like sometimes murder's okay.
Yeah, but murder's technically a sin. It's never really okay. Now, killing is... murder's always wrong, but killing is sometimes...
Killing's all right.
Yeah, sometimes you can kill. But murder would be wrong because it's sinful. But I read a great book by a guy by the name of Gene Gatz who goes through this whole thing. It's a book called Elders and Leaders. And he deals with this, and he would be of the persuasion that women should not hold this office. But he also says in there that this is not the unforgivable or unpardonable sin. And if there is a denomination or a woman who's leading a church, if she's doing it with all sincerity and those kind of things, he says in the book he doesn't feel that it's something like they're going to go to hell or it's a salvation issue necessarily. I think he makes a fairly good point on that. But
your personal view is?
My personal view is I don't think it's a healthy church when women are in the pastoral role. I'll probably get fired for that, but doesn't mean I don't think.
I won't fire it.
But see, the main thing is though, I think what's being lost here is that does not mean that women are not valuable, or that women shouldn't have roles.
Well,
to
that's
teach.
what happens to everything now.
Yeah,
so,
you're exactly right.
I mean, if you tell a woman it's a great thing to be a stay-at-home mom, take care of kids, raise the family, training them in the way they should go,
right,
and serving the household, they're told by society that they're wasting their time, and that they could have such a better life somewhere else doing something else.
Yeah.
And
which is a total lie.
It's a total lie. But, we're three men sitting here going harumph, harumph, harumph. So here's what I think. I think the Southern Baptists should be able to make whatever law they want. And then if it doesn't pass, be like, fine. Like, I still don't think you're going to see. It's the legislate morality thing. I don't think you're going to see a big rush of women in the Southern Baptist Church
right,
to rush to be leaders in the pulpit, because it's not where their heart is anyway.
Right.
Most of those people believe that you're going to have your Beth Moores and you're going to have your random cases of people who are whatever. Like, let them have a church. They let that dude at Elevation preach. So
yeah, right. Friedrich.
yeah, they let him go on and on and on. So,
yeah, right.
I mean, hey, stick a woman up there.
And is he Southern Baptist?
No, I think they're not.
Yeah, I think they are too. But this issue was really brought to light with the whole Rick Warren thing, because he was bringing, I think, female pastors and putting them in roles and stuff. And the Beth Moore thing cracked it open.
You've got that old lady, the short old lady from Fenton, Missouri, that runs around, cackles in everybody's ear.
Huh?
What was her name?
From the Southern Baptist Convention or the Southern Baptist Church?
I'm talking about women in pastoral roles.
Oh, Joyce Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, again, basically a female. Who's that crazy guy? Copeland.
Yeah.
Basically a female Copeland.
Right.
I don't know. You're going to have heretics and people preaching the wrong stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of par for the course. I don't know. Who is waking up and going, how many people are honestly waking up and going, I want to be a pastor or preacher at a church.
Right.
I don't think it should be that many.
I would feel weird even going to a female.
I would.
Yeah.
But we're closed-minded men.
Drinking too much of that city water.
We're not in touch with us. The water hasn't turned our frogs gay.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty sure. Well, maybe. I don't know.
It kind of sucks that Timothy's kind of weird now,
Wait, the Timothy passage?
Alberino or whatever.
What's going on with that?
Have you seen that stuff, Matt?
No, what?
All right, so here we'll just throw this out so
He's
people
my
that
boy.
don't. So
He's starting to
Timothy,
get more.
yeah,
Esoteric, a little crazy.
yeah, maybe.
A little
He's definitely
New
becoming
Age-
very popular.
New Age stuff, right?
New agey.
Maybe, yeah. So those of you that don't know, Timothy Alberino or Alberini or Alberino.
One of those.
Anyway, he's a researcher / conspiracy type guy that looks into like biblical.
He's like young Mr. Peterman from Seinfeld.
Yeah, but he's looked into Nephilim stuff, UFO stuff.
He's smart.
Yeah.
So there I was in the jungles of the whatever.
He was.
with the Indian people of
Yep.
the Hoopla Hoppa, and they.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
These stories are awesome.
Yeah, his stories are awesome. So anyway, he looks like an Indiana Jones type guy. Good looking dude, right?
Yeah, and he's from Cleveland.
So anyway, he has now become very he got on Michael.
Broadview Heights.
Makes sense.
So Michael Knowles, Matt, you know Michael Knowles.
I know Michael Knowles.
He had a 3-hour interview.
I know he did. That's why I watched some of that.
And
Yeah,
he was on
okay.
Sean Ryan.
So then after the Michael Knowles, he gets
was.
on Sean Ryan. So something's going on. He's starting to go up the pole.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, he's drinking the Kool-Aid. He's becoming very popular. But he's been talking about some strange stuff. And I'm like, okay, how much of it's true? And then some of it, to be honest.
Like what?
As I listen to him, it's not. Well, he like draws people in. He's like, yeah, like we were a part of this thing where we saw this thing and my buddy saw this and did this and blah, blah, blah. And he creates this whole story to Michael Knowles. And then he's like, yeah, but I don't think it was aliens. And it's like, okay, why did you just tell this whole story and make it sound like we got some kind of paranormal thing going on, but you don't think it's aliens now?
Face peelers.
Yeah, maybe it's face peelers. I don't know. Did he talk about those?
Yeah.
So that's the Timothy Alberino story or Alberini story.
See, I didn't realize he was, carrying it towards the end zone and then dropping the ball.
At least
Maybe not on everything, but
yeah, maybe not on everything, but on a couple stories, I'm sitting there going, "You got to be kidding me! You serious? You just manipulated that whole thing."
Because his big thing about going to Machu Picchu and that one
Right.
church and going down in the basement where guys died, like you
serious.
come up with a cough and then you die, and like I think that and this monitor somehow I think that ties together with.
Curse?
No, the people who think that the prior flood history stuff with the buildings and the blocks that you can't put paper in and the pyramids and
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's coming to a head. We're gonna get some answers. Supposedly they found the Ark and pieces of it.
With that radiation.
Well, I
type.
thought they found pieces.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then Zoe was telling me, "Oh, did you know that the pyramid thing with the 2 meter down thing with the spirals?"
Yeah,
and stuff?
the Giza.
That was fake.
Are you serious?
That's what I was told yesterday. By a non-Christian person who is into this archaeology and why they're hiding archaeology stuff.
Huh.
He goes, yeah, it was like 2 weeks later and somebody came out and said that was fake.
Wow.
That means it's probably not then.
Probably not.
Well, right?
I mean,
And
it's
anyway, like
it's-
I this whole thing that we're going to talk about tonight, to me, is like we're headed towards this moment where either Christ is going to come back, or mankind is going to get some kind of transition period, or some kind of takeoff, like we're finally going to get out of underneath being globalist controlled. Like I feel like that's coming to a head.
okay.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good theory.
Well, it seems like people are waking up and understanding stuff. I was talking to Brad this week. That new restaurant opened up. I know that. Listen, everybody wonders about my stories.
Dave Ramsey's coming to Cortland.
What?
Or not Dave Ramsey, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah, doing a restaurant in Cortland.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, that would be fun.
I'll guess.
But this proves my point. Okay,
Is he going to say the F word a lot while he's
Probably.
cooking in there? Okay.
the new restaurant that used to be Dutch Country,
Oh, yeah.
and like I haven't seen really great reviews from the few people I've seen reviews from. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I feel like there's 2 ways to make food now. There's to buy expensive, good, whole food that you have to prep and process and cook and make taste good, and that is healthy.
Yep.
or the banquet.
Or there's stuff in a bag and liquid butter, and you throw it on a fryer
Yep.
and then serve it out, and then those people have to go to the bathroom in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's our 2 choices.
Right.
Like, that's what's out there now.
Did you ever have that liquid butter?
Oh, dude, sends me to the bathroom all the time.
Every Friday.
Every-
Every Friday.
I'd be like, liquid butter, gotta go.
Yeah.
But anyway, like that's like we're just people know now. It's not a secret. It's liquid butter. And like you either eat it or you stay away from it because you know it's not good for you.
But Matt, there's still a lot of people that still believe that the government and everything that people are telling us is all conspiracy, and so they still think that liquid butter is okay for them. And there's still a lot of people that go to their doctor and they're like, "Oh, I'll keep eating
I don't know.
margarine, which is plastic."
I think that number is shrinking.
I agree it's shrinking, but there's still a good majority of people that continue to go, "Hey,
It'll never be majority, I think.
hasn't killed us yet."
If we can't get there, we're doomed.
Yeah. So I had one older. So I'll just tell you this. This is the difference, and it might be 50-50, I don't know, or 60-40, who knows. I had an older gentleman who's a cancer survivor, and he was talking about how he tries to kill weeds with natural stuff like bleach, blah, blah, blah. And he said that Roundup stuff's crap. He said, I'll never touch that stuff. And then I was mentioning that in a discussion. Another older gentleman, I've been using that stuff for 40 years, and look at me, I don't have any problems. So you still have those people out there that think that eating processed foods and all that stuff, it hasn't killed them yet, and they just have to take a shot for their diabetes, and they just have to take a couple pills for their heart disease, and they'll be okay.
There's another front that I think people are going to have to start to wake up on.
Okay.
Is that pretty much all of our health issues come from insulin resistance.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's arteries and heart. I don't care. It doesn't matter what it is. You have some type of insulin resistance. And it totally makes sense, understanding that it's a hormone and that every time it shocks your system, it actually makes stuff inelastic inside you. Mm-hmm. Like, I just, there's so much knowledge to be learned, and I get it. Like, the old people aren't going to get it. Mm-hmm. Like, our seniors are not going to understand. And they're going to be like, burr, rumbug, get outside and get some stink blowed off you or whatever their medical. Yeah. But I still feel like younger people who are, I don't know. I just see. Well, then you watch what goes on in L.A. and there's still a lot of dumb people. I get it.
Oh yeah.
What's going on in L.A.?
You have no idea.
No.
Yes, you do. Stop it.
Well, we probably could. I mean, so here's real quick before we move on to LA. This is the two talking points. Like, is the Southern Baptist Convention, because of this whole women thing, is this just a distraction from what the Southern Baptist Convention is supposed to be about, and that is to preach the gospel and to make disciples? Is it just kind of a distraction, and is it a doctrinal issue that they could live without or not live with? But the main thing is making disciples and getting people to know that Christ is their Savior. So that's kind of the thing. And then if you go to what we're going to talk about here in just a minute, and that is the LA riots, are the LA riots just a smokescreen or a distraction because they're saying this is all because of the whole ICE raids? But is it something bigger? And that's what I sent you guys some videos. Glenn Beck and some other people are talking about how these organizations that are supporting these riots and this thing that's going to happen this Saturday, No King's Day, these are socialist organizations that probably before, but we saw it back in COVID days, Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, taking to the streets, burning places down, that this is all a part of a bigger plan to destroy Western civilization. So again, is the church being distracted? Like, just do what you're supposed to do, church, and save people and disciple them and make disciples and don't worry about the peripheral stuff. And same thing here, like these people that are organized in the streets, send the military in and shut them down, and let's do what we're supposed to do, and that is
Absolutely.
to take care of people. I'll take a little bit more if you have it. So what are you guys' thoughts first about the Southern Baptist Convention? Matt, I think you kind of said it. Hey, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. At the end of the day, churches got to be making disciples, yeah?
Yeah, and to be honest, that situation's going to sort itself out.
Yeah.
I think it's the hubbub. I know this started a couple years ago with the Beth Moore thing, and I think they wanted to control her.
Yeah, because she's big, right? She's big time.
Yeah, and she was going to be a problem.
Yeah. I think you're right.
And she's gone somewhere else now.
Yeah, and sadly enough, she's really gone down some weird doctrinal roads too.
Well, and okay, this is life taking care of itself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
These situations are going to take care of themselves, and I think this is what
That's a good point.
this is what comes with wisdom. Is eventually you learn, yeah, you could eat that, go ahead, but you're gonna be 54 when you're in the ground. Go ahead and let these people preach, but you're gonna have people going over a cliff. Sadly.
Yeah.
But what can you do about it? We can't make a rule or a law about every little thing that comes down the pike that we don't like.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why we are where we are.
Yeah.
We have all of our towns and communities and states, and they're making laws constantly. All they do is sit around and make laws and rules and regulations and books about stuff, and for safety and for education and for the next thing you can't do anything.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And we've taken common sense off of everything. So I'm talking a lot, but the Southern Baptist thing, it'll figure itself out.
No, and I think you're right, and I don't know if you guys watched Alex Jones lately, but Jones has been talking about some guy from back, I don't know, maybe in the early 80s, maybe 70s or something.
The black dude?
Yeah.
That was fun.
But he was really talking about how the dude was pretty much cutting on the church, that the church is always constantly making these rules and these doctrinal statements, blah, blah, but they've never been busy about loving people and helping people and getting the gospel out. And so you got this guy, Alex Jones, who I've questioned for years, and I still don't know where he's at spiritually, but he's like, the gospel is, faith in Jesus Christ, and that's where your salvation's from, and, it's just simple. And I'm like, he's exactly right. And the church has really made it complicated. And so, I mean, there's something to be said for for that as well. Whether it's Southern Baptist Convention or whether it's the Nazarene denomination, whatever it is, whatever denomination is, even non-denominational churches. I mean, they got their rules and they got their stuff. And it's just, we just are supposed to be making disciples. And the other stuff, I think, like Matt said, it'll sort itself out. But
I mean, look at where we were, and I think a lot of people prayed, and there was voting, and there was whatever, but look where we were a year and a half ago. We're all worried that they're gonna chop children's genitalia off and whatever, and now we got a president that has stamped into existence that men are men and women are women.
Right,
So,
right.
we got to go do our thing and what we're supposed to do.
Right.
And let this politics stuff. I've stepped back from watching a lot of the political stuff because it'll drive you crazy. Did you see? So if you're watching Alex, I did watch him this week. Did you see him bust into that tirade and he was taking the Lord's name in vain? And
No, I didn't see that part because
No.
that would have caused me to go, okay, what you just said 20 minutes ago
Yeah.
does not impress me.
No, listen, he does both, but I think he's a human being.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I get it. We're all human. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like you said, I wouldn't go to a church with a female pastor, but there's probably people that will.
There's probably some good female pastors that are stronger than men leading.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah,
yeah.
possibly true. Yeah. So, okay, well,
Which is good because they're probably not good at making a sandwich.
Well, that's,
See, maybe they got to preach. When you can't make a sandwich, preach.
yeah. As long as they got a good husband that's making a sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, or children.
Because there are some guys that can cook really well. Like you just mentioned, Gordon Ramsay,
yeah.
coming in. I mean, drops
He
the
can
F-bomb.
cook.
He can.
He can.
Well, I don't know. Have we ever really technically eaten anything
I
that he's
haven't.
cooked? We haven't. So we don't really
The
know.
rumor on the street.
But
Rumor.
he does use real butter from what I've seen.
Oh, it's beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
He is funny when he gets
Oh,
riled up.
man, he is a hoot. He's a riot. He's a riot. And, sometimes you're like looking at him, and it's justified because he's looking at these, like, sous chefs that are like, they just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so he just loses it. Yeah.
There's a
Which
good one.
causes them to freak out even more.
Yeah, right.
There's a good one where the girl left the cast iron skillet on the burner.
Oh, man.
Well, the flame was on the handle, and he grabbed it. He was ticked.
Oh, I'll bet.
I'll have to show you guys off air.
I'll bet. That would be good. All right, so what's going on then is probably a huge distraction. Maybe we could talk a little bit about it and how are we supposed to respond then in this? Because this isn't in the church. This is in the streets. It's technically in smaller parts. Like it's probably being blown up, the proportion of what we're seeing, because it's not
Skid Row.
all over Los Angeles. No, it's not Skid Row. Skid Row's got its own problems, man. Philadelphia and those places, but
Their taxes are probably going up.
they probably are. Yeah, especially for those police cars that they're destroying.
Yeah.
But everybody that's been watching the news knows that these protests or these riots that are going on, and so Trump has called in National Guard, 2,000 troops. He's mobilizing Marines, but has he called them in yet? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
He has called them in. They're there?
yeah.
Okay, so
Because
700.
and I'm going to say this because he's got tweets that say, like, I'm glad I sent him in there. They would have been burnt to ashes,
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You get the Marines in there, some 20-year-old testosterone-filled dudes,
Yeah.
and someone mouse off.
They'll light you up.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, they're not going to mess around, I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, they might not shoot someone,
I
but
think, I
think
they
they'd floor
they better
somebody.
be careful. Yeah, no, listen, I'll lay him on the ground. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm good with thumping on the head,
Yep.
hitting on a shin or two.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
yeah.
I pray that they don't open up fire.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
They gave them paintball guns. I think
Well, the police officers, right, have paintball guns. Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Why don't they all use burner launchers? Dude, why don't they make a 50, 100 round burner launcher and you're just like, dum, 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 dum.
What's those?
They're a CO2, they shoot tear gas. metal balls,
Oh,
non-lethal.
I know what you're saying. They did. They
Yeah,
make,
but you
they
start-
make a drum one.
Do they?
Yeah.
But you start launching those into a crowd, though, you be taking people's eyes out. and
Whatever.
stuff.
They're not lethal. Not lethal.
You telling
You
me
shouldn't be there.
you're a cop driving in your Suburban and you get a brick through your window?
Oh, no, I agree. If I get a brick through my window, I think I'm pulling out a real gun.
That's attempted
If I'm
murder.
a police officer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
exactly.
yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah. As a police officer, I think I'm pulling out my real gun.
And then you, Brian. Here would be the national
Especially if
news.
you got your
Here would be the
family.
national news. Brian from Burton decided to come out and help the LA people, and he opened fire, and World War III has now started.
Yeah, well,
We have a new Revolutionary War.
I know, I get it. You have to control yourself. I get it. So the
think
They put your
paintballs-
face up there, and it says Brian Westover,
They would,
and his face is like,
right?
And a bruise under your left eye.
Right.
no, listen, this is very. That's why I played the song I played. They're setting me up to pull me down,
Yeah,
make me look like a clown. Alex Jones been on all week.
yeah.
You take the crowd of nutsos, you put National Guard here, and then you put somebody behind them with a real gun. Nobody knows where it came from. You're gonna open up a powder keg.
Yeah, you are.
You're gonna open, and that's the
What-
Chardon thing.
So Saturday is supposed to be
Saturday's
all
the day.
this.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday's June 4th. Saturday is the protests are called No King Day on Saturday.
And what is happening on Saturday, nationally?
That's in Washington. He's having that big parade, right?
And why is he having the big parade?
Well, the leftists are saying it's because of his birthday,
Yeah.
and he's like Kim Jong Un.
right.
He's like Hitler.
The truth is, we used to have a day called Flag Day.
Okay.
So it's Flag Day, and it also is the 250th anniversary of the military.
Right.
So that's why he's doing this.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
And what was Flag Day? When did we stop having Flag Day?
When we stopped spanking kids, somewhere right around there.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was when we started having Pride Month, but
Well, I think it all coincides. I think we stopped spanking kids. The rainbow became for gay people, and we got rid of Flag Day and Columbus Day.
okay. All right. Well, then I guess
How much
it's time
money
to-
is being spent on the parade?
$34 million.
That's it.
That's it. It's not bad.
I feel like that's pretty small.
I think Musk donated like $20 of it, from what I hear.
Dude, he backed down. Did you hear that?
Well, yeah, kind of. I
posted
heard he
something.
apologized, right?
Didn't he put something on Twitter about him being with Epstein? And it got
Trump?
deleted. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, technically, Trump is on the log of being on the plane,
Yeah.
but they're saying that he just took the plane to get from point A to point B. He didn't go to the island.
He don't got his own plane.
That's what I wondered too. Like Trump, as wealthy as he is, why would he get on
Maybe they
Epstein?
were talking about stuff, and they were like, "You want to take your plane or my plane?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "We could ride yours."
Listen, dude, I think
I'm
they're all
driving.
dirty. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm drinking. You want it? You drive.
Yeah, I think they're all dirty, but that's just my gig. But I don't want to judge a book by its cover. He's got nice hair.
His pardon with that rapper.
I didn't like that. I don't
It's
think that's
crap.
cool.
What rapper?
He pardoned some young buck or whatever, the pill mill guy.
For what?
Hold
Supposedly.
on, I'll get it.
I don't know. It's crap. Like that's when I kind of lost a little bit for him there.
Well, listen. Sometimes you got to make moves of strategery.
I understand. Maybe he had that black guy has a hookup in the black community.
This is what I'm saying.
I get it.
If you notice, most of the
But that dude's pills could be killing a lot of people, you know.
did he? Or is he in there for tax evasion?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Young Jock or what's his name?
So I'll read it to you here in just a second. As part of a spree of more than 24 clemency actions this week, Donald Trump on Wednesday commuted the federal prison sentence of Larry Hoover, the founder of a notorious Chicago street gang. Is this the guy? Hoover was the leader of the Gangsters Disciples 1990s 6 life sentences on conspiracy, extortion, drug, and other criminal charges.
Yeah. See, all right. So an FBI case, all on maybe happened.
He was a Hoover.
It says he was given 6 life sentences on conspiracy, extortion, drug, and other criminal charges.
That's one with the young. What's the pill mill guy?
The pill mill guy?
Oh no.
Yeah, it was young something.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I saw that. In a
Young
headline.
Jeezy.
Young Jeezy something.
Let's see. Where's it at? I just saw it here. Drug dealer granted clemency? Maybe this is it. I don't know. P. Diddy. That's not it.
He also let the white people go.
Young boy.
Young boy. And what did Young Boy do?
I don't know. Well, every time I go to these sites, they don't want me to. Hold on. Let me put in Trump pardons young boy. There we go. Maybe I'll get it.
We'll just sit here.
So
We'll sit here in silence.
NBA young boy and Larry Hoover. Now all the drug dealers. President Trump has commuted the streets. Well-known former Chicago. No, Hoover. Oh, man, you gotta be kidding me. Why is this so hard? Did you find it, Brandon? Young boy wrote a message to Trump saying, "I want to thank President Trump for granting a pardon and giving me the opportunity to keep building as a man, as a father, as an artist." Go ahead, Brandon. Do you have information on it?
Mine says his young head held low as he pleaded guilty to his part in a large-scale prescription drug fraud ring that he operated out of his multi-million-dollar home in Huntsville.
Alabama. This says in 2024 he also pled guilty to his 2020 gun possession arrest in Louisiana and another count connected to more recent gun charges in Utah.
But why do we pardon that guy?
Because I think a lot of this stuff is trumped up crap and on technicality.
He
6 life sentences.
That's two different guys.
That's the gangster guy.
Yeah.
This rapper guy is pretty much dealing drugs out of his house, $1 million home or however many $1 million home.
Prescription drugs.
That's what it says.
Okay, so he didn't go to school and become a doctor. That's the difference.
Yeah, but I wouldn't pardon the doctor either. Yeah. Would you?
But that's part of the law, though. The doctor at least is in, even though we don't like it, the doctor's at least in his.
I guess what I'm saying is like, it's not like he let some murdering rapist back on the street.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Dude, you're half for legalizing most of the drugs we got going on.
Me?
Yeah.
If it's probably steroids, I'd be all right with. That's probably it.
Are you all right with weed?
I mean,
you all right with DMT?
people are gonna do it anyway, right?
I guess this is what I'm saying. Like, of the things that the guy did, I'm gonna play devil's
But
advocate.
peddling heroin.
Did he sell heroin?
That's what it is. It's opiates. It's heroin. It's prescription heroin.
Doctors were doing it every day.
I agree.
They're doing it every day.
We wouldn't pardon them now, would we?
My grandma's doctor is probably still peddling drugs somewhere.
Yeah.
No,
But
I
do we pardon him? Mm-hmm. We do?
Yeah. Listen, the lady that came in there selling that stuff to him was very attractive. He just was doing what he was supposed to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't agree with that for some reason.
And they're calling these people high-profile people that he pardoned. Well, all these people are high-profile. That's why they're getting pardoned.
That's the thing. Like, with the whole sports, would you watch sports if Mark McGwire wasn't hitting home runs? Probably not.
No, and that was a good time in baseball.
Yeah, I mean,
When he and Sosa were getting all juiced up.
yeah,
Man, that's fun times. It didn't bother me.
Well,
the sport still moves on.
Yeah.
I guess this is what I'm saying. This is one of those issues where it's like, really? Is this where we're going to split hairs?
Dude, I think I just got a
Probably.
text from somebody we know.
Okay.
It says Israel launched a preemptive strike on Iran. Iran responded with ballistic missiles.
Perfect.
What's that mean?
World War III
Means we're
could
going into
start.
war.
Yeah, World War III could be on the way.
And we're not going to say who I got this message from, but it's my unknown source.
Unknown source.
I got sources that can tell me stuff.
And he told me. I saw the files myself.
Yeah, I just got this number.
All right, so he pardoned some people.
No, it might be junk mail. I don't have any idea. Might not even be true.
I mean, you're cool with Joe pardoning his people, right?
Joe.
Uncle Joe. Biden.
That was actual criminal activity. Like they were selling our secrets to the Chinese.
I mean,
That is not the same as peddling drugs. Okay, all right. Well,
This is sweet.
like, listen. Keep him in jail. Pardon him. That's fine. We don't sell our technology to other countries that could attack us with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, that source that just gave me this information, it's I think it's just spam mail because I don't see anything true about it.
All right, well, we're gonna retract that. We're gonna retract that hot moment.
Yeah.
What do you call that? With
I was so excited that we had like top news.
you thought you were dropping a bomb.
Uh-huh.
I'm more upset that this new beautiful deal has the AI backdoor for big corporation, like allowing the big corporations essentially to control all the AI as long as the government has their finger in it.
Well, that's the perfect way to control the people then.
That's what bugs me about what Trump's got going on.
Well, that's the thing, Matt, like when you were saying earlier, and I agree with what you're saying, people are waking up, but now we're going to be woke in our slavery.
Or we'll just be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is crazy stuff.
But we're coming. Do you feel like it's
No,
my gut, we're at this pivotal time?
no, we are. Yeah.
Like the story that you fake read from your garbage can
Right.
could have been real.
Right. And it might be real in another day or two.
What happens here then if that happens?
Well, now you got if you have an all-out war in the Middle East with Iran and all these countries, and then you have unrest here in the United States, you got to figure that's not only going to kill the economy, it's going to really do a number on the economy. But it's probably going to open up the door for maybe even, because aren't they calling for like high alert on terrorist attacks for this Saturday as well?
Oh yeah, they're supposed to rip the top off the can. This is the weekend they're ripping the top off.
Did you
the can.
re-up on all your stuff? Did you re-up on all your stuff?
I did. I went and got 40 cans of tuna.
You like tuna?
I do like tuna. Yeah. The problem is if I don't have enough mayonnaise for it, it's not going to be that good. but it's all right. I'll call Gordon and see if he's got any. Yeah, I did. I got some tuna. I got some rice and beans.
Tuna.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then
so
we'll start eating the lectins.
Yeah.
We'll laugh at them when they come to shoot us. I'll be like, my gut's already perforated.
Right. I'm just wondering how I'm going to protect my eggs and my girls.
My eggs.
My girls that give me my eggs.
My eggs.
You got that.
I figure out how to protect them. And if that's the case, man, I'll be selling it'll be $8 for an egg, not a dozen.
Egg.
It'll be an egg, $8 for an egg.
Did you guys watch Newsom? Like, I'm really at like, if someone can watch that horse's ass and take him seriously, caramba.
Who's that?
Newsom, the governor of California.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom.
He's challenging Trump to come arrest him, and like he sounds like Tommy Toughnuts.
Well, that's because Trump didn't even say he was going to arrest him. They said somebody else said about arresting him, and Trump said, "Yeah, I think it's a good idea."
Yeah, right.
So he didn't even really say it, but
That's the thing.
But
Like,
he sounds so dumb. Well, he's sounding more like Joe Biden when he talks. With the, come on, man. He's doing that kind of stuff. Like, what kind of mental illness is flowing through that camp?
yeah. Well, what do you? I mean, are you guys of the persuasion that this probably is a? It's not about the ICE raids. Can I ask a question, Matt? Because you do your research too, Brent. Are any of these reports about them taking children with cancer and grabbing people that are legally here and sending them back to bad conditions, and then when they take them in these to wherever they're holding these ICE people, they're not feeding them, and they're not? Are any of those reports true, or are we just hearing banter from the one side trying to make it sound like we're doing a bad thing?
So I know yesterday it was proven, all you heard about was that the ICE agents pulled into a Home Depot and started knocking them off. That was untrue.
Knocking them off? You mean like bringing them in? Like
Yeah.
Taking, okay.
That was where it supposedly started.
Well, that's where they're all working.
That was the narrative on Monday and Tuesday. Well, this is how racist the left is.
Yeah, exactly.
They were perpetrating the
all the illegals are working at Home
racist
Depot.
idea that all the illegals are at Home Depot.
Yep.
Because that's the story they led with. They broke into Home Depot and they started knocking them over. And then that was proven false.
Because they're getting landscape supplies.
Whatever you may be.
I mean, exactly. That's what they're doing. And yet nobody sees that as racist, what they're doing.
No, they don't. They just know they want their free stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what they're challenging. Well, I heard somebody else saying that the other story that
This is only happening in L.A. though, right?
No, it's starting up in Chicago, New York now.
It is?
Yeah, and that's the thing. They want remember COVID? They want this place on fire this time next week.
This time this week.
This time next week. On Saturday and Sunday it's really supposed to take off.
This Saturday and Sunday.
Yes. And then just keep going. Just burn, slash and burn. And this is the other thing that I never understood about that whole mentality. Why would you slash and burn where you shop, meet people, go get coffee? Wait, you're trashing where you live to make a point? When has that ever made a point? It'd be like me lighting my house on fire, and people go, "What was that for?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm really pissed at Parkman." What? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But this is what we're doing. We're encouraging people to burn down the cities they live in.
What's the Newsom say about it, or that governor?
He's encouraging it. Your voices need to be heard. Well, and the media literally is literally saying this is mostly peaceful. There's really one of the funniest memes I've seen, car on fire, full spray paint. And it says, "Don't be misled. All the other cars aren't on fire." Like, it's the point of like, all right, we lit one car on fire. Is that was that necessary? And we've all seen the bridge shot of them throwing the bricks at the cops.
Yeah,
that was a big deal.
That's a big deal. Your life's in danger at that point.
So you know that spam mail that I got?
It's not spam mail now.
Well, no, I literally deleted it. And I got another one right after it, and it said, "This is true." And it gave me a website to go to, and I'm like, am I that stupid that I'm going to go to this website and get hacked?
Do you know who it is?
I have no clue who the number's from.
Oh, it could be.
Well, that's who I thought it might be, but I'm pretty sure it's not. But so it says it's like Israeli news or something. It's like, it's true, it happened, and then it says, are they watching us? Did they know that we're talking about this, and do they know I just deleted their thing?
Probably.
I tell you what, if you're watching this and you sent that, send another one and tell us, yes, I'm watching and this is true. And then give me a CNN, because none of the other all the other stations, even 2 hours ago, ABC News said that it appears that the United States is bracing for Israel to attack Iran possibly as soon as Sunday. Well, you know that they're going to either do it before or after. They're not going to do it on Sunday. So either way. So if we find out that they attacked today, you heard it here first. Because we have sources. We don't know who the sources are, but they're feeding us
Our
intel.
sources are sketchy.
Yeah, they are.
But we have them.
Yeah, we got them right here. Let me see.
Oh, yeah. Laugh out loud. Yes. Oh, wait. I know who this is. I'm not going to say who this is, but I do know who this is. And so, wait. I think I do have a source. All right. So, yes, I'm not. So this person says, yes, laugh out loud. I am watching. And they told me their name. So, yeah, they have. Could you send me that website link again? Because I didn't know it was you.
We threw it out.
And I tossed it. I think it was Israeli News or something like that .com. I'm telling you, if this person, yeah, okay. So I can't give my.
I can't disclose.
I can't disclose it.
But I'll have them on the air next week.
Yeah, we'll have them come on. Yeah, they're deep in the. What are they deep in?
The occult.
The
The
occult.
Sonic Lodge.
No, they're not. They're not. But yeah, I think it's all.
Listen, I've heard it from 33rd degree Mason. Okay, right here.
All right, so I just got the link. This is Behold Israel. Man, I'm getting ready to click this. My phone could blow up at any moment.
Well, it's all right. It's Apple. It's Apple. If it blows up, we'll get you a real phone.
Oh yeah. No, this is because it's so Amir. This is the guy. He's the big Jewish guy that's over there. Kind of keeps up to date. Amir Sarfati is his
Name
name.
of the website?
But it says here, if I could grab his stuff. Oh, now I just got the text. Fox News is just starting to talk about it. So it is in the news now.
Dude, you had a story and you bungled it.
And I blew it.
You blew it.
But I didn't want to get scammed.
you
dude.
blew
As
it.
bad as Timothy Alberino.
When you get man, you had a fish handed right to
I
you
know,
and you
I know.
dropped it.
I know.
We could have had like 15 million views.
Yeah.
We could have. Well, we still could because we've got sources on the inside right now.
Listen, I'll just
They're
go
finding
find a
this out.
fake video of a rocket flying through the air and we'll say it's that one.
Okay. All right. That's a good idea. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. Well, this will be interesting then. Maybe we should try and find some. Let me try and find some information now on this. So this is taking place, and then the riots in the street, and everything that's going on. It's a distraction again. Like from a Christian perspective, this is a distraction to divide people from the whole gospel message, and that is to make disciples. So as Christians, I don't think we can get caught up in the mayhem of everything that's going on. We have to keep the main thing, and we have to keep making disciples.
Yes.
I don't think there's any way around that. So even as Christians, we can have this debate, we can talk about this, but to get all hot and ticked off about it and try to choose one side or the other, you're not going to win this debate. And so I think we need to be very clear that our mission as followers of Jesus is to make disciples in the midst of this. So wherever you find yourself, that's what we're supposed to be doing. But let me try and find this Iran passage. And I think Behold Israel, I think that is Amir Safati's station or whatever. Let me try and find this. What else? What else you guys
So I'm
thinking?
at the Fox website and I'm not.
They're nothing?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I did just get scammed. Maybe this person, I think this person.
Jesse Waters is talking about a man saving an American flag from
Okay.
burning. Oh, thank God.
17 minutes ago, Tehran. Right now, we got an image here on Twitter. Amir Safati looks like 2 minutes ago. Give us help from trouble for hope. No. Nuclear sites in Iran are being attacked right now. This is 1 minute ago. From Amir
Israel
Safati.
strike first or Orion strike first?
No, this is Israel. They're striking Iranian nuclear sites. They're being attacked right now, according to reports on the internet. This is, I think, this is Amir Safati's Twitter site, I think, X. Let me just double check here if I can get the post. Yeah, Amir Safati. This is June 12th. The nuclear sites in Iran are being attacked right now, according to reports on the internet, which I mean, I don't know. I guess that's it.
I had this.
That's all I got.
All right, I got another news.
Oh, you got to show that into the camera.
I got another news bomb.
Matt,
We got.
Brandon just took AI and redid my picture, so I'm gonna put this. See if you can.
I
see
made
it
him
in
an
the camera.
Iranian.
It made me into
Back
an
it up.
Iranian.
Back it up. Back it up.
Hit the screen.
Hit
Touch
the screen and make the whole. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh okay.
Just bring it in.
That's me as an Iranian. on
Bring it in.
set.
Bring it in.
Allah blah blah.
Oh, come on. Keep coming.
Seriously? Wow.
Dude, it is blurry. It's not.
Oh,
It's not getting better.
Maybe Brandon's. What about Brandon's?
Oh yeah, his is nice. Oh, somebody's got to take their pill.
Brandon, take your drugs.
You got to take your birth control.
Why is that so loud, dude?
So breaking news.
Breaking news: Iran
You ready for another one?
Israel is attacking.
Low-calorie diet could potentially lead to negative mental health. Researchers in Toronto, Canada, have revealed.
Stop.
Well, man, then I'm going to start eating more. That's ridiculous.
Might as well.
How many calories do you eat a day, Brandon? Do you know?
A lot.
I eat about 2,100.
Is that a lot?
It's a lot for me because I'm still gaining weight on 2,100 calories, which is ridiculous.
I'm probably 5,000.
Are you serious? You're not eating no 5,000 calories a day.
So basically,
How much is in a
those
gallon of whole milk?
they did not cite a specific diet, but those who stuck to calorie restrictive diets, including most fat people,
Is that what it says?
it says overweight individuals.
Oh, that's a nice way to put it.
So, including fat people, saw an increase in depressive. Yeah, because you're like, I can't eat.
Well, yeah.
Gallon of whole milk's 2,400.
Are you pounding a gallon of whole milk a day?
Are you
Like
serious?
for real,
No
yo?
joke. Yeah, no joke.
2,400 calories in milk fat.
Yeah. And then plus I'll eat, a nice meal.
Do you ever just go for heavy whipping cream?
Ooh, that's some nice stuff.
It's more expensive.
Dude, we need to stop.
It's so
at the
good at
store.
coffee.
Want to?
I'm stopping at the store on the way home to get some heavy whipping cream. We're making some homemade ice cream tonight.
It is good in
Sounds good.
coffee.
Matt, you ever just take whipping cream and a little bit of maple syrup and some vanilla and just whip that up in a freezer
No, Brian.
and make some homemade ice cream with that?
I have not, Brian.
It's like butter. Oh, so good.
I have, however, made Totino's pizza rolls in my air fryer.
That sounds healthy.
Yeah.
You should probably eat more of those because you need more calories.
Right? Well, that's what it's showing.
So
I
you
wouldn't
don't-
be depressed.
You don't want to be depressed.
I would be happy.
Yeah. And to think that you would be depressed over low caloric intake as opposed to the fact that Israel is bombing Iran at this point.
Well, that's what I found on Fox News. So.
Let's get your Okay. So Fox News is not reporting on it right now?
Not their online website.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna take a look at it here, see if I can find something too. Although Amir, he said he's getting these reports on the internet, so I mean, I guess he could be getting scammed. It's possible, right? Although he seems to have some pretty good reports. They do have a picture of Tehran. Looks like smoke going up, so it looks like there's something happening in Tehran.
I believe it's Tehran.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Tehran.
Tehran. Well, gentlemen,
Yeah, I think we pretty much.
you think we killed it tonight?
No, I don't think so.
I'll tell you what, we did something exciting though. We had a
Breaking story.
breaking story from an unknown source.
Well, I think it's known, right?
Well, it's known to us, but we're not going to divulge the information because this is the way it always looks a lot more important,
Sure.
right? Because we can't divulge our sources.
Right.
That's what it always,
Could get whacked.
yeah. I'm not seeing anything either on
No, it's not there.
Fox News or anything.
It's not there. I did a search on the old Googler, and Googler didn't bring nothing up. Yeah, and I have to tell you too. This is how I know AI is going to kill all of us. When I tried starting to use AI to manage my Amazon Music.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find half the songs I'm asking for. It's like, I don't know what you said. Can you repeat that, please?
Oh.
I'm like, you are useless.
Well, you know why, though, too? Like, okay, I don't know if you guys have watched any videos or documentaries, but this whole artificial intelligence needs a lot of power, and it needs a lot of cooling units.
Water,
yeah, water. And the buildings, like, there's 4 buildings. These guys that told Trump they were going to invest like $500 billion into this whole AI thing, they're building 4 huge buildings in Texas on this piece of property. And in those buildings, they have to circulate water to keep these things. And the guy said that, he said, in all of these buildings, he said, we're not storing anything but information. And he said, in order to make AI work the way it needs to work, they need this amount of power and this amount of room, which is crazy. They need all
in
these
3 years,
units.
we're not going to have... In 3 years, AI is supposed to use all the electricity we have.
Well, yeah, and so the reason I think you're getting those issues, Matt, is because so many people are pulling from AI now that it's bogging down. Like, it can't get it straight. That's my thought. That's my theory.
That's when I would try and start using it. Mm-hmm. Oh, perfect.
You should have been using it 3 weeks ago.
So driving down 71, I have a new conspiracy theory. Driving down 71 on my way to Kentucky, in the town where THL used to be located, and that crashed that town down there. I remember that was on the news. Anyway, it begins with W, I think.
It's 71?
Yeah, 71 down there by RL Carriers, like exit 65, exit 70. Somewhere around there, you pass all these power lines coming across the highway and into this giant substation. And there's also one on 90 in Indiana near Champaign Metals.
Mm-hmm.
These big buildings with these power lines that go to them. And I'm like, okay, Davis Bessie, Perry Nuclear, we have 2 of them right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's unlimited power. And then we have huge aquifers. This is where they pump the water for the farming.
Mm-hmm.
They're pumping the water out of the ground. And I think those are storage centers.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. I just want to say I got another link to CNN from our unknown source.
Oh, boy.
But CNN has reported Israel launches preemptive strikes against Iran, defense minister says.
Mostly peaceful missile launch from Iran.
Yeah. Now here's what's interesting. 8 hours ago, Trump, okay, this is on Fox News. 8 hours ago, in a press conference, Trump warns Israel's strike on Iran could happen amid Middle East evacuation, nuclear negotiations. So he's been supposedly evacuating people out, right, of the Middle East. And then all of a sudden he gives this 8 hours ago. He says, well, the strike could happen while we're evacuating people. And all of a sudden now here it happens. So obviously they've known that this was going to be happening anyway. But so you guys got any predictions about what's going to go down, or is it just going to be they're going to hit a couple sites, Iran's going to be like, hey, we're going to get you guys, and then nothing's going to happen after that, or what?
Don't know.
We have big concrete blocks to throw at you.
If the nuke comes, I hope it's fast.
You mean here?
I'm hoping we
whatever.
can start importing some parts kits.
Right?
Parts kits.
Don't shut down the Chinese turbos.
Some AK parts kits.
Oh, we figured out the Chinese tariff thing. Right now, there's a preliminary agreement at 55%.
On both sides?
Yeah.
How does that, I mean, in all seriousness, how does that help? Because it's the same on both sides. It's just like tit for tat, right?
No, it levels out. It levels out the cost of.
So it's going up 55?
Yeah.
But it still raises the cost on both sides, right? So the consumer's going to end up paying more for whatever, right, or no?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
But
55%?
yeah, it's not small, but it's better than 150.
Wow.
Listen, we're talking about a country that was dumping all of their crap here for nothing.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing that. It's not sustainable.
But we were also paying nothing, right?
How long can you do that? All right, like, all these liberals that are losing their minds. From an environmental standpoint, to keep dumping plastic in the United States at cheap cost,
Right.
is that good for the environment?
Probably not.
Probably not. As far as putting Americans to work, is that doing America any good? Probably not.
Probably not.
So, like, let's level it up a little bit with a tariff. Like, I sell Chinese equipment. This isn't going to help me
Right.
at all.
Oh yeah.
My stuff's going up 55%. But if that levels the playing field so that you have to make a choice on a real good, you're not just
But it'll be
buying on price.
It'll be the same
It
good.
encourages price buying, and price buying is never a great place to be all the time.
Yeah, but it'll be the same good with the same amount of influx here, just more money. So whether it's cheap or it's 55%,
It may give somebody the opportunity to go, okay, we can build a machine here.
maybe.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all right, it becomes economically feasible to make an inexpensive, maybe to innovate, make a new design, and go, okay, we figured out a new way to make this mousetrap, and we can compete with the Chinese stuff, and it'll be worth it. But if you're going to keep dumping it over here for 20% of what everybody else in the world can do, because your labor is practically nothing,
Right.
I mean, I don't see how that helps. I don't see how that helps things. And I think we're a victim of it. Looking at Walmart, Target, Sam's Club, all we do is go shopping.
Do you know how much it costs to make a disciple?
We don't. Well, I wouldn't know. I've never done it.
Time.
Yeah, it's actually it's a lot, but it doesn't take any.
I know how much these cups
Cost more than money.
I know these cups don't cost a lot for the beautiful coffee at our church.
they
We're actually
don't.
switching out the coffee here soon. It's getting voted on.
Are we?
We're going to Death Wish.
Are we going to Death Wish?
That's it.
Oh man!
But you'll have all your flavors you want.
That'd be awesome.
Blueberry.
Blueberry, dark roast, medium roast.
You getting the vanilla?
We can get the whatever.
All right.
I'm gonna
Dude,
try
do you
to
know
it.
what would happen to some of these older people in our church if we start?
Yeah, they might start
Giving
they
death
might,
wish?
They might start.
We might see them at the altar.
Oh well.
or we'll see them at the altar.
Yeah.
Is that
Their
how
hearts
these?
palpitating. They're like, man, I gotta get right because it's over. And the ambulance is 4 minutes out.
We'll see them at the altar, laying on their back in a wooden box.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like Sanford and Son. This is the big one.
It's the big one.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're probably going to head out for this evening. Those of you that have been watching, thanks for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe.
I just want to throw this out there really quick.
Go ahead,
because
throw it
the
in.
No Kings thing
Yeah.
is supposed to come to Chardon, and it was.
Are you serious?
It was meanwhile in Jug County.
Okay.
There's people that are like, well, go ahead. This is like that country song. Go ahead and try it in my town and all this stuff. I'm gonna say, don't go out there.
Right.
We don't do these things.
Yeah.
Let the 2, 3, 5, 10 people go out there with their signs.
Right.
Let the cops bring them in because they're lighting cars on fire.
Right.
Don't fall for the bait
Exactly.
and go out there and start something. That's not the way to do this.
mind your own business and your own
Mind your
yard.
own business and do your thing.
You guys know that's in Thessalonians, right?
Sure. I was gonna say Thessalonians 2:39 verse.
Ooh, you might be
72.
close.
Yeah.
I'll find it for you real quick before we go. But you know what, man? That's good advice, dude. Because it's not going to help to, try to run interference.
It never helps to escalate things.
Right. Yeah. 1 Thessalonians 4:11. Make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. You should mind your own business, work with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anybody.
I like it.
What a great verse.
Isn't that right before teach a man to fish?
I think it might be. And cleanliness is next to
The
godliness.
godliness. Yeah.
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 That's 1 Thessalonians 4:11 through 12. That's a good read right there.
Okay.
That's good to put on a card and put in your pocket and think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's hard to do. We want everybody to know our opinion. Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't fall for it.
Well, if you'd like to give your opinion, let us know, and maybe we could have you on the show. If you ever want to come and be a special guest and talk about some things, let us know. Let us know your topic. Let us know what you want to talk about, because we have to vet these things ahead of time.
Right.
We'll have Eddie Petty on here next
We
week.
might have Eddie Penny on here, ex Navy SEAL.
What's he gonna do?
He's not coming on.
Oh.
But yeah.
Are you getting?
Do you know how much it
lined up?
costs to have him on the show?
He might do it for free.
No, I don't think he's going to do it for free.
He might.
You're talking, even if you just bring him in like through the video, you're talking $5,000 to have him on for an hour.
No.
And listen, he
telling you,
wants
dude.
It ain't
he
$5,000.
wants an audience of 7. Be like,
telling
dude,
you.
we have an audience as
It
strong.
ain't $5,000.
I mean, he's a
Strong
cool
7.
dude, and he's got a good story. But look it up. You
He's
go,
only got 33,000 subscribers.
dude. Go to his website and see what it costs
it's
to
like
have him come on.
$100, dude.
No, it's not $100. If it's $100, I'll pay it.
It says right at the bottom of his page, "I'll come talk at your thing for 100
There's
pounds."
no way. It's like $5,000, dude.
I just need a C note. We're on our way.
And if he comes in person,
It's 200.
no, it's even more.
It's so it doubled. You're saying it doubled?
And you got to pay for all of his flights in and like where he stays and everything.
What's the name of his thing?
I don't know. Hey, those of you that are watching, you guys have a great rest of your week
Yeah, we can
and
get outta
weekend.
here.
And we're going to get out of here. If you need a home church, 13925 Stanley Drive, Burton, Ohio, Northeast Community Church. Check it out. And
or don't. Whatever.
yeah, it's your call.
Yeah, you can.
But follow Matt's advice. Don't be going out to those protests on Saturday.
Don't do it.
Right.
Yeah,
All right. Have a good night, and we'll see you again.
punching out. Go ahead. You finish out your thought.
Well, we got an error report.